Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Wrestling Through the Week. In the week following SummerSlam, which I agree with Callum was not an exceptional pay-per-view by anybody's standards. Very impressive match between Dolph Ziggler and Rey Mysterio. I'd like to give an honourable mention to Dolph Ziggler as a standout performer for that event. But while we had wonderful moments like the return of The Undertaker, which was just brilliantly done, the pay-per-view was just riddled with problems. You need to take the disgusting treatment of ECW, and the ECW title match is a good example. And this week was possibly worse. This week in WWE was pretty bad, pretty damn bad. And we kicked off the week in the worst possible way with Raw. Now, last week, Raw was much better, and I think Callum and I probably foolishly thought that Raw was going to improve. This was one of the worst Raws yet. This was really truly dire. It was just a whole show of unnecessary, disgusting, nauseating, massaging egos that do not need to be massaged. Floyd Mayweather made a pretty much pointless guest host who might as well not have been there, and due to it being Vince McMahon's 64th birthday, the whole show was entirely taken over by vacuous, horrendous comedy segments with McMahon and DX, and just a match at the end that was so self-satisfying. It was barely believable that it was even happening. I don't actually want to talk about Raw now all that much, because most of what will need to be said about Raw will be covered when I hand out the awards later, particularly when I hand out the award for worst moment, because there were so many atrocious moments in this week in wrestling that there really was no way I could pick just one, and discussing the worst moments of the week will pretty much involve me discussing Raw, so I'm probably going to leave it till then. The highlight of Raw was was The Miz defeating Santino Marella really easily. That honestly was the high point of Raw. That was the best thing about it. I mean, it just mind-numbing, really mind-numbing. A boxing match between Hornswoggle and Chavo Guerrero, where Chavo has to wear oversized gloves. What is this? Why? Why doesn't Chavo just leave? I don't understand. And yeah, I'm going to cover it later, because pretty much everything else that happened on Raw was just a horrible fail of a bad moment. So I'm going to stop talking about it now before I get angry. And I'm going to move on. I'm going to talk about ECW. Well, I'm not really going to talk about ECW because I didn't actually have time this week to watch the whole show. Sorry, guys. I did, however, watch the main event, in which William Regal defeated Christian to earn himself another shot at the ECW title, which, if it's a title shot that comes at Breaking Point, I'm actually quite interested in, because Regal could actually win that, because he has a signature submission move. That would be a turn up for the books. William Regal getting another belt, which would be great. I love William Regal. I think this match was really good. Really good match. Much better than anything that was on Raw. And it showed how disgusting it was that they were allowed 8 seconds for their ECW title match at SummerSlam. I mean, absolutely ludicrous booking. I mean, I just can't get over the fact that the great Khali and Kane were allowed more airtime than Christian and William Regal. What the fuck is that? Made me really angry, actually. Really fucking angry. Anyway, the rest of ECW didn't look particularly interesting, so I didn't watch it. I mean, by the time I got time to watch any of it, I was already aware of the results. I didn't really fancy watching Tyler Rex and Yoshi Tatsu, two rubbish wrestlers, get put over against Shelton Benjamin and Zack Ryder, two really good wrestlers. I couldn't really be bothered watching a double countout between Goldust and Sheamus. So, which the feud, is that going anywhere? Where is this feud going? Nowhere? So ECW seemed okay. I can't imagine the rest of the show was anything special. Callum watched it, he said it was alright, but the main event was really good. I'll give that credit. Superstars, again, I didn't actually watch Superstars this week, but I saw little bits of it, and I was very, very, very delighted to see Paul Burchill go over. Paul Burchill is awesome. The fact that he's a massive jobber is a total shame. Kind of annoying that he wasn't able to hit his finisher for the win, but picking up a victory over the Hurricane, which was nice, in a match that, from what I saw of it, looked quite good. Dolph Ziggler becoming the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship again, by defeating Finlay and Mike Knox. Thank God it's neither of them. Now, mentioning the Intercontinental Championship, of course I have to mention that there is no suspense going into Ziggler's next challenge for the Intercontinental title at Breaking Point, because Rey Mysterio, as probably all of you know, has been suspended for 30 days for violating the WWE wellness policy. Total shame. Apparently he's taking steroids to get bigger. This is what I hear. Why he would want to get bigger when his whole gimmick is being small, I don't know. His performances this year have been absolutely outstanding. He's been one of my definite standout in-ring performers for the year, without question. He's really been in his element this year, and it's just a fucking shame that his Intercontinental title run will end in this manner. But yeah, so Ziggler will take the title in the next match at Breaking Point, and the question really is, who's going to be the next contender to Ziggler? I kind of hope it's R-Truth. I find that unlikely, but I'd quite like it to be R-Truth. And the other match on Superstars was, I don't remember what it was, it might occur to me later, but obviously it can't have seemed that interesting to me. Oh yeah, Jack Swagger beat Primo a little too easily for my liking, because Primo's come into his own, and since the Colognes have split up, I still don't understand why the Colognes have split up, because they've got no singles push. Like, neither of them has got a decent singles push. If Carlito had got some great push out of splitting up his team with Primo, then fine. But that's not what happened at all. Rather, they both sunk into obscurity. I could see them being released soon, which is a total shame, and the tag team division needs them, to be honest. But yeah, Primo defeated by Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger obviously needed a win after being beaten by MVP at SummerSlam, so him winning is certainly understandable. That match was quite good, actually. I watched most of it. Anyway, I think I'm going to use a separate part to talk about SmackDown, because I'll probably need a little longer to talk about SmackDown. So yeah, turn over to part 2, guys. Cheers.